Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So, today we want to talk a little bit about employee perks versus increases in salaries and just what some trends that we've been seeing over the last couple of years. And we've been following this pretty closely just to see if some of our employees are, and this is both internally as well as what we've been seeing through our various networks. If employees recently are more interested in certain cash bonuses or certain perks or certain benefits that go above and beyond what would be just an increase in pay or cash bonuses. And a lot of surveys that we've tracked both from Gallup as well as we've seen in various newspapers as well doing surveys quite broad, find that the new generations, the millennial generation, Gen Z generation prefer perks. And those could be anything from season tickets to a certain event or a concert, as opposed to a cash bonus as a thank you for a job well done at work. And personally, I've also been hearing a lot during interviews that we have potential employees asking us about various benefits, and we go over all of the standard benefits that you would think of, which are probably your health insurance, your medical insurance, and dental, vision, and so on. Uh, but they really mean more so specific perks. Are there any gym memberships? Are there any organizations that are sponsored that could possibly give some discount to the employee, such as is there an agreement with certain mail carriers where you can get a cheaper price? Perhaps daycare services where to make it a little bit easier for the employee to pay some of their otherwise day-to-day expenses. And we've been seeing that these additional perks, these additional benefits will outweigh a lot of the times a raise in cash or outweigh a higher starting point as a salary. And it's been interesting to see that it's not just something that Jane and I have discovered, but also something that we've been tracking through various, as we said, surveys and forums, that it seems to be a big shift and a big change to a lot of employees would like to have work and their workplace encompass some of their outside activities and what they like to do, and really be able to help to subsidize that out of work life more so than we've seen with prior generations, and that did value more than anything else that cash bonus or that cash raise more than anything else. So Jane, I just wanted to ask you, has your experience been more or less the same? Have you seen the same? And how is that from an accounting standpoint?
Yes, Irene. I've seen something very, very similar, and everything you've mentioned is something that the questions that have been asked and things like that. So, for example, from the accounting standpoint, entertainment events actually used to be sort of 50% deductible, but it's no longer deductible. So that was a big shift. So concert tickets, sports game, anything that has loud music, it's sort of considered non-deductible. And people do still love that. Even me, if somebody were to say, oh, well, what would you prefer? Let's say that I gave you a cash bonus or you want to go to this great event and go all together, I think I would pick that great event as well. However, it's not deductible. So some of it has slowed down because of that, but people do still continue to go to these events. For example, the business meals with clients, there's still a 50% deductible. The office meals, 50% deductible. But having a company-wide party is 100% deductible. And people really still do connect with that. So, for example, an event that you could host, anything that you could invite people to. And maybe some employees back in the day when let's say, was part of the corporate world, I have to say that a lot of the people who worked with me, we didn't really value that as much as people value now. So I feel like it is important for the mental health these days, especially that a lot of people are more virtual. There's sort of a hybrid working from home, going to the office, meeting clients. It's still kind of more or less limited. It hasn't been the same. So I think people do value that ability to kind of see people and be invited to the entertainment events, whether they're taxed or not, right? Another thing you mentioned about the gym is that, yes, it could be potentially something that if it's being reimbursed, let's say by your company to your employees, they might have to include it as their income. So some of these things might be something that could stop the employees from wanting that, but I still do think that they choose that over the taxable versus non-taxable.
Absolutely. And about the office events, that's something that we incorporated years ago, and we find that our team likes to stick together and our team really looks forward to these office events that we do. And it's it's actually not as valued, I find that during an initial interview, as I would say when someone's already part of the team and they really see that we do host some of these events that we talk about, and we weren't just saying it, and really everyone does very much look forward to it. Obviously, the tax deductible aspect is a wonderful perk for any employer, but we find that it really helps with um, just employee retention and employees getting close and really feeling that comfort in their workplace, which again, years ago, the only way of achieving that was with an additional cash bonus. And that was really what made an employee comfortable and want to stay in a workplace. And today that's shifted to the conditions in the workplace and the friends that they have. I think there recently I read a survey and I believe it's about 30%. They say that about 30% of employees say that they stay at a workplace because they have a work best friend. And that's quite a high number. And I'm sure significantly higher than that was 20 years ago, where a big consideration is the commute. A big consideration was going to be how much they were being paid. So absolutely. Definitely a consideration for hiring and very interesting seeing these shifts and to continue tracking what the next steps would be.
Yes, and we'll continue tracking what's the deduction wise. So we'll keep everyone posted.
Of course. Well, thank you everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.